Yo, Delano. It's been a second. Doing pretty well. Are you getting ads right now? Maybe you're getting ads. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm getting good. Actually, my bitrate's being a bit weird, I think. No, I'm not having any dropped frames. Maybe it's Twitch. We'll see, though. Also, I wasn't sure if the ads were over or not, so we still have like 14 more seconds on them, so. Huh. My bitrate on the Twitch thing is going a bit weird. But it's saying I have good connection and all that. Huh. We'll see. How's it going, though? Hope you're doing well. Huge. Saw your gesture drawing the other day. Good stuff. We're also about to start drawing and trying to improve. Oh shoot, I forgot to change the stream notification. I always forget to do that. It's hard like both remembering and then coming up with something every stream, but of course. Excited for today though. Our last page of intersections. We're not going to finish it today. Maybe it'd be a goal to finish it on Tuesday. You know what? Let's try to make that a goal. Well, we may have a longer stream on Tuesday if needed. Oh shoot, I forgot to schedule a haircut. Brick, whatever. It's not like I need one. I need one. I need one really bad. Cool. Well, hello everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's currently 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm gonna be playing some seatbelt / cowboy bebop music tonight because yesterday we listened to Space Lion. This isn't Space Lion, but it kind of reminded me of it for a second. And man, you can't go wrong. And so also some what is his name? Ryo Fukui. Ryo Fukui. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know. I suck at it. But in the meantime, we're gonna warm up. Oh, I thought IQ did the timer. Whatever. Chill day today. I really wanted to draw. Then ended up doing homework all day. I really don't know how I managed that. I tried not to, but here we are. I thought I did all my homework yesterday. My goal now is to spend Thanksgiving break drawing now that I've gotten so much homework out of the way. It's an addicting thing, right? Because the more homework I do, the more assurance I have that it's done, right? And I don't have to do it later. But this homework that I did today was unique in the sense that it's like, it's not really done until I run out of time. So that was a poor one to sink my time into. But also, did some chores, clean my bathroom, clean my living room, all that good stuff. So I can't really say it was a bad day. And now we get to chill out. and work on drawing. Heck yeah. In terms of like art thoughts throughout the day. Saw someone's art, got really jealous. Like like out of nowhere, surprisingly jealous. Which I was like, I surprised myself. I was like, I feel that way about this. I will not mention the artist because I don't actually know the artist or where I found it or what it is. But in the jealousy was like, shoot, man, I can't make that. Like, what? How am I supposed to do that? Very glad I recognized those emotions though. And I put it away and I was like, I'll chill out, you know, if we're getting to that point where I'm kicking myself that much about it. Should address those thoughts and then, you know, later analyze how I got there. Firstly, though, the fastest way to get to thoughts like that is comparison, right? So it's probably a good sign that I was comparing myself too much to what I've been looking at. Yesterday we ended with 2 boxes. Got to figure out what cylinders and stuff. I was going to put another cylinder on the page, but I felt I was getting a bit too antsy. In fact, part of it was me looking at the time and just seeing that there was 5 minutes left. I was like, I can't draw a cylinder in 5 minutes, so maybe we'll do without the timer for a bit. We'll see. We may experiment with that today. Probably not much harm in removing that. Also going to mess with my microphone real quick. Nice. I thought I put no lyric stuff. Who cares? Should have ghosted a lot more right there. Jeez. It's been just the usual. Drawn for the sake of it. Can't really relay anything noteworthy. Been studying a lot of trans art on and off, making sure I'm not like taking in too much of it at once. Started looking at it more objectively, seeing what they're doing, what I like. My favorite things to look at is his gestural drawings. Aesthetically, I love his full renders, but the gestural drawings tell you a lot of his thought process. However, those can be a little bit harder to come by. Just by virtue of what gets popular and stuff. Had a big time of no drawing because of that 1 week I took off because of classes or final projects, I should say. And I really, I'm trying to get back on the habit of drawing in my free time, but that week really shook me. But very happy to know that my feelings for art and all that stuff didn't change in that time. In fact, I was confident that they wouldn't, because I kind of told myself, like, anything I feel after this week, when I'm in recovery from all of those all-nighters and stress and stuff, probably isn't well-informed or real. And that's the thing, I still could have easily drawn in my free time. It was just a choice away. I just shifted my priorities. Like a doodle for 5 minutes a day wouldn't have killed me there. What's up, Bear? Hope you're doing well. We be playing a little bit of Cowboy Bebop today. I was inspired after yesterday. Not sure if we're gonna keep this one though. In fact, we're gonna switch. Thank you, Delano90. Today is going to be a very ellipse heavy day, so let's focus on warming up those. Yikes, don't know what happened there. Let's do some larger 90-degree ellipses to practice our spheres. Whatever drawing program I use, that's why I'm leaning more towards Procreate. I like the iPad. I don't really like the Apple ecosystem, but That was really decent. This is really not decent. Jeez. $10 bajillion tablet for $13 half. Yeah. That's the big problem. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people prefer it to CSP, but I also know CSP has a huge fan base as well, and rightfully so. I wonder if, dang it, I'm not going to be a student of a university in a year, but like I could use my student discount to get me an iPad. Maybe I can get my sister. She'll be in university for another year. That may be a worthwhile decision. Yeah. Oh, jeez, look at all the ink I just smeared. Holy. The cost of drawing 90-degree ellipses. Ugh. I don't remember this from Cowboy Bebop. I choked over there. Jesus. Dude, you're stressing me out. We're gonna stop it. Very cool. In fact, ooh, okay. We're gonna head over to BRB. You guys know the drill. 2 minutes of ads, all that good stuff. We're gonna return to our intersections to continue working on those. So be right back. We're back. Dang it. I was washing the ink off my hands and I need to dry more thoroughly. I want to get like water on my intersection page. That's always my biggest fear. One day a spill will happen on stream. Not the biggest fan of these boxes, but we've hit our redo limit. Hey, what's up, Gems? Got some super sleepy music for you tonight. Dramatic music, kind of, too. She has a pretty voice, though, so I don't know. How's it schmovin'? Oh, yeah, we're just gonna hide the timer this stream. Here, then we'll put on. We're gonna skip then. We're gonna do the super tired music tonight. Okay, I probably want a cylinder going like this. So I'll want a pyramid going some way to capitalize on that. I want the bottom plane to be like this, which will mean the three closest points will be right here. Remember, we don't want to make the same mistake as last time. We want to plot out the three closest planes first, or points. Is that how you feel, Delano? I don't think Kirby says that. No. Stop. Adding it to the band's words list. Also made my favorite ramen before stream, and I did a preemptive strike with some Tums. I think that was a great decision. He says Pollo. He does not say Puyo, man. Or Puyo with 3 O's. Really locking the fecal funny into that one. I know that noise. I shouldn't hit this song 2 times in a row. But we're going to do it, and then we won't play it for a couple streams. I promise. Ooh. Didn't feel too great about that line. Remember, our goal is to be a lot more focused, a lot more mindful, stuff like that. Okay. Delano was having that issue, I think, as well. So maybe it's somehow me, but I'm getting good, like, statistics. I haven't dropped any frames or anything. So maybe it's a Twitch issue. I don't know. I love that little echoey, like, noise. La Femme does it. I was listening to La Femme earlier today. I went to go get some boba. I feel like I just don't look like I belong in a boba shop. I don't know. I just realized that sounds like kind of racist, and I do not mean it like that. Not at all like that. It's just like, I don't know. I look like a dude who only drinks black coffee, in my opinion. And I drive a Ram pickup truck. It's like the equivalent of seeing like a 50-year-old white dad, like from like Texas or something. I don't know. Playing into stereotypes right now, and walking into a boba shop and ordering a pinkety drinkety or something. You know, it's just like. Okay, now we have to play the game of can Kavel make it a square? And we want no foreshortening on this and like a lot of foreshortening over here. Till it becomes a square. Oh, sorry, no foreshortening right here. Lots of foreshortening over here. It may get distorted at a certain point, which sucks. But maybe that is how the cookie must crumble. I don't know. Yeah, my bitrate looks pretty solid. I don't know what's going on. Then make it yourself. I honestly, and this is just a me take, it's completely unfounded. I don't really like the 3D models that much. They're super stiff. I always nowadays just prefer taking pictures of myself if I can do the pose. And even if I can't capture it perfectly, that's fine. Because like, boom, we have construction, do the rest, right? So as long as I understand where my like important points are in space, my knees, my arms, my rib cage, all that good stuff, I can get pretty far. The gravel werewolf, I did that one. The gravel flower, basically all the recent gravel stuff. That's right. I took a picture of me. No, I'm not going into that bit. I don't commit to that. It's like I think it was Bear who sent it to me. It was the or maybe it was Sadie. The Proco course, where you get to learn how to do character design with animals. And this is only tangentially related. It's like you're going to learn to use gesture, but instead of using a still picture, you're going to watch it like a video on repeat. And it's going to be much more difficult because you won't like have a static thing of what the pose should be. But you get that vital movement from it, right? Which seems like so intuitive and like awesome. I was like, holy. This still feels rather rectangular, not very square. That seems more square. The fact that Waltz for ZZ isn't in this playlist kind of surprises me. Maybe disappoints me a tiny bit too. I don't know. That feels okay. How would someone feel after making this song? Like, this is just straight beautiful. Whenever I've made YouTube videos, I listen to them so much that I hate them at the end. And I hate listening to them. And I can only imagine that's somewhat similar for music. Then again, I've never stared at a drawing long enough to be like, bleh. Maybe lesson 2 textures. But even the lesson 5 ones I liked a lot. Oh shoot, I need to do Sadie's lesson 5 critique. Hey Siri, remind me in an hour to do Sadie's lesson 5 critique. Boutique? Boutique? Why did it say? Okay, whatever, it's close enough. Oh, dude. I'm gonna commit. Just remember, we're pretending that we're a box here. And since we're looking at the bottom plane first, that makes our jobs a little bit harder, because typically we'd start the Y method up here. Never mind, I lied. Oh yeah. Kind of. No, we're good. So yeah, we have to, we have a range of lines. All the center line of the pyramid will be parallel to a line within the range of lines that forms a 90-degree angle right here and a 90-degree angle right here. Since this is a somewhat obtuse angle, we have more room to work with. But if it gets an acute, we have the most, or like once it gets to 90 degrees. But once it gets like to near 180 degrees, which is like almost the maximum you can have, you won't have that range. And also, we're switching playlists. Some Ryoko Ryo Fukui. Sorry for changing the song. Take a sip of water real quick. Sorry. I hope this music will make up for it. So if we aim more like right here, we'll be at our best. We'll get pretty close to the edge of the page. It will make mark making a little bit difficult, but wow, that goes rather to the side. That's good. I think it's in the right position. It's a bit rectangular, but we'll deal. I just smeared ink. Whatever. Nice. Wait for that to dry. It's a bit less solid than I wanted. Do a cone form right here with the intention of a cylinder cutting through both of them. Maybe we should do the cylinder first and then that. We'll see. Gotta think several steps ahead for this one. I would like some plane to plane intersections here. So we could do another pyramid right here and have a sphere over here. Come on, let's make this the best sphere we've ever drawn ever. I can't complain about that one too much. Egg-shaped, but that's okay. I feel like I'm drawing like a cover for a math textbook or something, you know? A little bit, a little bit weird. Whatever. It's too symmetrical too. We have like a line of shapes. What are we doing? Cylinder, cylinder, cone. Through this cylinder. Pyramid. I would like something to fill in these gaps right here, and maybe that. Oof, that was crazy. That was a good one. Nice little drum break. Oof. Oh my, dude. You know that video of that old dude going, holy moly. Exactly. May do a sphere here. Sphere to cone, cone to cylinder, cylinder to box and triangle, or pyramid. I know my shapes, guys. So if we start with cylinder, and then we do sphere, and then we could do cone. I think we should start referring to things just by like the noun. Like instead of calling your dog by their dog, just like the dog, just dog. Baby sensory shape video by Kavel draws. There you go. I learned the other day. I'm not sure how true this is. My professor said this, so I mean, there's probably some credibility to it. Apparently, like they made Cocomelon by putting kids in a room and like having different variations of the Cocomelon videos, the baby sensory videos. Those are Cocomelon, right? Maybe I'm lying. Whatever the dancing carrot stuff is, and they like selected their videos and stuff based off if the babies were paying attention or not. They basically did like human reinforcement learning or reinforcement learning with human feedback using babies. That is, I'm not sure how true that is, right? Please check your sources on that one, but I mean, it seems legit. Like, it seems like a credible thing, a realistic thing, sadly. This is going to be a long line. It's going to be tough, guys. remember when I was baby artist and even more baby artist, infant artist. Sorry, I love that. Um, and I was like, how the hell do you make a shape? I was saying this in lesson 4. How do you make a shape happen on the page that you want to? And like half of it's true. As a person who's gotten better at drawing, still art baby. I am baby. Half of it's like the shape that you want, and half of it's just you got to deal with what you have, right? Like it's reacting to the page. You could keep trying, but yeah. Darn. Did not respect the minor axis. That's how they get you. I've had this scratch on my finger for like 2 weeks now. It's from the things. What are the things you put in your wall? They're like they stick. You can pull out the plastic tab from underneath them. I have it in here, right, like right next to me. Command strips. Command strips. And I was taking one off the wall, and I just kept pulling, and it wouldn't come off. I was like, holy crap! And then it snapped down, got me on my finger. I started bleeding. And this is a war wound from that. And of course, like the injuries you get on your fingers, I feel like, or like especially the knuckles and stuff, take longer to heal. But command strips are my ops. Got battle scars. That was okay. Wish I made it smaller, and the major axis is totally off. Ooh, this one's going crazy. Breakcore, but in the 60s. Man, that major axis is off. Blech. Whoever's on that freaking ride symbol, my bad, man. Is it called the ride symbol? It's been a minute. You're also not allowed to breathe while listening to this song, by the way. It's one of the rules. You know, like Tyler has the rules for don't tap the glass. Oh, that like didn't have at all an intersection. Frick. That was not the plan, guys. Yeah, I'm changing the song. We're getting too groovy with it. There's 3 more minutes of that. Holy. Feel bad for the those who played that. Jeez. Mm. We're gonna run a cone like this, I think. And I want like it to like take a chunk out of it. I don't want it to be parallel, like tangent. That'd be bad. I don't want that. Maybe we could have it disappear into that, and then have our sphere like over here. The change in pacing between that last song and this one is notable. Let's see. Let's calm down. A little bit unfocused. I instinctively looked at the time. Ah, yay, yay. Yeah, I should have started that line a little bit more backward. Whatever. Bit wobbly too. Ugh. Somewhat better. It's almost like some Kerbal Space music in a way. I know that's a bit of an insult, but come on. Just realized a flaw in my execution of this. If I want to put a cylinder through here, it's going to be mighty tough. Screw up. Let's do it. Let's just do it intelligently. And I have to do it at an angle so it doesn't feel like the cylinder is sitting on top of this one. Like the infamous sphere cylinder incident. Or we could put a sphere here and do a cylinder like this. Cone through these. Pyramid right here. Because I was going to put a sphere here, but not feeling it. This sphere could eat into this. A little bit of an intersection with a cylinder. Then a cone can bridge those. Or no, we'll start with the pyramid here. And then decide what we ought to do. I don't want the pyramid to be at all orthogonal or like parallel or anything with this box. I want it to be rather weird and wacky and strange even. Have a notable intersection inside there. It's gonna be big, but that's okay. We actually want that. Lots of room for intersections. Nice. There's a shirt I really want to get. You know what Newport cigarette boxes look like? I want a shirt that's like, there's like the white striped blue. I want that as a shirt. I don't even smoke, but I feel like that's a good shirt to have. Walk in the interviews with that one. Get the job instantly. When I die, I want a giant time lapse of everything I've ever streamed. Every drawing. I don't know how it'd be done. Because, like, 530 streams, that's close to 1,000 hours. No, that's over 1,000 hours. No. Maybe. We're probably, like, near 700 to 800. Terabytes of stream footage. Yeah. We're at 1.2 gigabytes right now, and we're probably about halfway through stream, maybe a little bit more. So overall, we're getting close to a terabyte. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Yes. Ish. It would be heavier right now, but I've lowered my bitrate by a lot because my old internet issues, which we're hoping don't come back. This side is longer, which means this needs to be shorter, which means this gets foreshortened more. And this line gets less foreshortened. And then at my funeral, we're going to have a Kahoot, and whoever gets the most questions right about me gets some of my money. They can have my clothes. I feel like that's low stakes. No one wants my clothes. You could sell it. This feels rather square. Move it in just a tiny bit. Right here. Yeah. It should be projected. My clothes? Or like the Kahoot or the stream time lapse? The major. The major. The major. Kahoot. I was so confused. Yeah, we will stream the Kahoot when I die. There you go. I don't even know how it got from Kahoot to major. This didn't intersect as much as I wanted right here with the plane, but we'll be okay because we're going to go like that. So, like this. Oh, I should draw a Thanksgiving thing and like Gravel's the turkey. I will consider this. I wonder how I'd play that out. The hand. The hand. I'm getting some cryptic phrases from you tonight, Bear. Oh my god, that's so smart. That is a great idea. No, you're fine. Gravel hand turkey. That's actually Bear. I'm gonna. Is it okay if I take that? I may post it on the YouTube like community tab for the Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm so committed. Awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, that's a great idea. Gotta think of how I'm gonna do it because like the hand on the hand turkey is supposed to represent like the big whoosh, feathers on the back, right? But gravel's a grackle, so I'll try to figure out a way to like make both those work because both have pretty noteworthy tail feathers. I hope my crows are well. My Linux server turned off the other day because power probably went out in my house. I told my parents to turn my Linux server back on. They haven't, so I just hope they're probably doing this as an excuse not to feed the crows. Ay ay ay. A waddle. It's a waddle. I think I know what a waddle is, but I'm gonna. Why is this falling? Stop. Oh, that thing. That's a waddle? I always thought it was the never mind. There's something called the snood. The snood is the thing that hangs over the beak, like the bit of flesh that goes like over the beak and hangs down. That's a snood, by the way. A gravel waddle. If I could find a way to not do that and it not be uncanny. Yeah. It's gross. Why evolutionary like why? What made the turkeys and the birds that have waddles live longer than those who didn't? Is it like a reproductive thing maybe? Like, oh my god, look at the size of this this bird's waddle. That'd be wise, yeah. What's up, Jims? Jims is probably half asleep and then heard us saying that. And it's probably like a good indicator of health. Like I feel like a healthy bird would have like a healthy waddle. Oh, you're on a meeting? Oh, gotcha. Kind of like how the blue-footed boobies, they are more blue the healthier they are. Like an orca. What is the health symbol in an orca? Wait, I don't know that. Just peril. Yeah, that's good. I don't feel good about that line. The dorsal fin is flabby may indicate something is wrong with it. Ah, I gotcha. I get behind that. Source blackfish. blue fish, one red fish, blue fish. Yep. Didn't overlap much with the sphere, but that's okay. We've done worse. Hey. Oh. Dude, my upstairs neighbor, I have noise canceling headphones on, and I can still both hear and feel them thumping around. None of that is necessary. It's 8:30. Nothing is happening. Cool. Where next? We were ballsy enough to suggest. I don't know how. Like I get annoyed with small noises very easily. Um like I don't know. I'm totally chill with it now. Even at night, like at 1 a.m. when they're thumping around, the first night it started happening, I was very annoyed. And then I was like, hey, I just need to sleep. Like, this is just gonna keep happening. I could go up there and yell at them, but that wouldn't fix much. Or not yell at them, but confront them, be like, hey, you're thumping around. But yeah, my mentality is like, I can still sleep. Like none of this is telling me I can't sleep. Tolerance, yeah. And maybe now I'll be less alert if someone like breaks down my door because I think it's like neighbor activities. But yeah, at least I'm getting good sleep right now, so I'll make that sacrifice. Okay. It's gonna be a tough cylinder to do. It needs to span like this big intersection. Doom, 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 doom. Hmm. Especially some mornings, now that I think about it, like at 7 a.m. when I'm in like getting ready in the bathroom, it'll sound like they've dropped 80 things. Like frequently, like weekly. And it always scares me because that's a noise I can't ignore. I'm like, what are you always knocking over every week? Should we adjust? This is systemic. What are we doing? Eh, 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 eh. Yeah, I'm gonna elaborate more on what I was talking about earlier. I got very jealous today at art. I could say what the art was or who or anything about that because I honestly don't know half those facts. I just saw it. Like my first thought was like, oh, comparison. Stop looking at it. Stop thinking that way. And like I don't mean this in a mean way or reductive way, but like it wasn't art that I found particularly like amazing, right? Like something that should trigger such a jealous reaction from me. Um, and this is not the right music. What is going on? It's a bit better. It felt gross. I hate being jealous. Um, it was in the context of their art being congratulated too. Um, not, not even congratulated. It was a bit of a bad context what it was, but still, and maybe it's less so the content of the art, but the accolade behind it to be revered that like that. That would make sense because I look at a lot of art objectively, or I try to. Everyone knows that's hard to do though. Um, and so to see someone's art like revered in that way, that's something that's hard to look at objectively. Like, I don't know. You could look at a mathematician and be like, wow, your work is amazing, blah, blah, blah. Then you see them win something, you're like, what the hell? That's the best way I could correlate that. And this ellipse is killing me. Because it's about to be tangent with that, and that's the last thing I want. Yeah, that's the first step. I just don't know what to do with it half the time. That's where I struggle. Like I uninstalled Pinterest a couple days ago. I wouldn't even call it jealousy. It's just like I was obsessively looking at art. Less so appreciating it though. I was just looking at a bunch of stuff. Which was surprising because most of the times I've had to step away from like Pinterest or if I had Instagram or like just art sources in general is because I get a bit greedy and get, a bit jealous. Oh my god. My stomach like sank during that. Ugh. One day if I ever talk about like what art, it's gonna be so funny. Cause like it's literally nothing to get jealous about. But man, I don't know. I was like a very quick and visceral reaction. I was like emotions are very quick and immediate things, and like feelings are it's one or the other. But it's a funny cat drawing. Sadly, no. I do wish it was a sad, funny cat drawing. Wow. That could be a source though, especially when you people see people like do really silly doodles, but man, they're great. It's like holy, you're not even trying. you know, and we don't know that. All we see is a picture. We don't know the story. Man, this is a hard line to draw. I also keep hitting my hand on the side of the page, which is I knew it was gonna happen. God dang it. Let's take a brain break for a second. Let that sink in. I'm not doing the bit. The pages are bending. I don't know why. I store it in a flat place, a flat, dry place. Then 20 billion years ago, or whatever it is. also change up the music a little bit. Whoa. My favorite playlist, called Absolutely Calm, like Abzu, changed to the calmness of games. Interesting. Art has not been the limelight of my life recently, and it feels weird not being so hyper focused on it. How does that make you feel? Only if you're cool sharing that. I mean, you said it feels weird, but is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a neutral thing? Is it, I don't know yet? Ah, tangent line. Frick. Accidental line. I don't know. Let's do a cone. Let's do a cone. No, that's gonna be like weird. I see. We're gonna do a cone like this. For one, I feel good. It's a good step because I think the stuff I value currently doesn't align to art. Interesting. Like I want to put myself out there and discover more of what my interests are in drawing, but it's weird because I spend a lot of my life thinking about art. I'm gonna reread that again just so I parse it correctly. You wrote it well, I just have a slow brain. So do you mean more in the sense of like you want to explore things besides just drawing? Or you want to just to explore more things about yourself and you're going beyond drawing to do that? Those are the two ways. Pretty much. Okay, cool. I'm gonna assume the former. Both of them. Cool. I think that's great. Doing things out of, not necessarily out of character, but out of my comfort zone have been the things that have contributed the most to my development as a person. Every single time. Freshman year of college, I went out and I like tried being a party person, learned that I'm very much not a party person. Like finding out who you're not and what you don't like is just as important. Oh, Panacea, let's go. Can never have a Kavel stream without Panacea. Yeah, go out, explore. I think that's great. And hey, now you'll always have the cushion of art. You know, you mess up, you get confused or whatever. Well, now you have art. You've always had it, I guess, but you know. It's stupid. It's stupid that we have to spend most of our lives figuring out who we are. Like, I'm already me. Ah, gotcha. Okay. I see. I felt that way, and I'm sorry I keep saying I would like to impart, experiences. When I thought I wanted to go into mechanical engineering, which I still love. I love the notion of 3D printing, of being in the machine shop and making stuff and drafting and planning and all this great stuff. But there came a point where I was just like, this isn't what I want to keep doing. I like it, but like if I had to do this every day, I probably wouldn't want to as much. Or like I would want it in smaller doses. Like doodles and little gesture sessions are just a fun way to wind down, and that's awesome. Heck yeah. And then I went into computer science and I was like, wow, I want to do this a ton. I could do this all day. Now I shouldn't. And that was a later lesson I had to learn probably sophomore, junior year. Was I shouldn't do these things all day. I need to like do other things. I need to sleep. I need to be with people. Yeah, one thing I do need to get better at, which doesn't help that I stream, that like streaming isn't a helpful thing, is just listening for the sake of it, for the sake of like with the intent of understanding rather than responding. That's probably my like one of my greatest things I know that I struggle with. Who knows who knows my greatest things that I don't know I struggle with, but but man, art, I'm still pissed off I didn't like truly start diving into art earlier. Who isn't? Right? And I'm not sure yet if it's a thing I could do every day, all day. Kind of like coding. And by every day, all day, I mean like, max like 6 hours because I need to sleep, I need to work out, I want to do these other things, right? More than I want to do it all day. But it's definitely up there. I could draw for 6 hours and be happy, and with breaks and stuff and be happy. True. Streaming helps a ton, right? I mean, I got to show up to a certain place at a certain time out of social obligation more than anything. And just thank God I like it, Like this would have gone very south very quickly if I didn't. What I would give every day for time to stop and to give me at least 2 hours to draw. But I never really want to do it professionally. I never want to have to be like, I have to draw something or I'm not eating this week. That doesn't sound fun to me at all. Not that it isn't for others, just that's not my... Like, I'd rather be like, if I don't code this week, I don't get to eat. Because like I feel like coding for me is a lot more deterministic. And sure, it's creative. It's just a different kind of creative that I feel like I just do more naturally. But that's also because I've been doing that for like a decade, maybe. Who knows? Holy crap. I've been like doing little programs and stuff for a decade. And I'm only this good at it? Crap. Frick. There's imposter syndrome. I know, right? That's very real. There's a video I watched today. It was a man who spent 27 years walking around the earth. He started in, I think, Chile, went up to Alaska, over the Bering Strait, across Russia. He didn't go to Africa, the African continent. He went like through like Eurasia, and then like up 27 years since 98 or whatever. Yeah, 98 I think was, I can't remember. 27 years, man. He was like, he was 50 when he got back. 50. Literally everything happened between when he left and when he's done. Yeah, I can send it in Discord once we're finished here. I just realized timer's almost up. I didn't even look. I'll send it. It's a shorter interview with him, and I feel like I would like to hear more of his stories because they only discovered like the two coolest things he did. He only learned or like got his first touchscreen phone in 2013, which like 2013. Oh, but he was doing it since like 98. You know, a solid 15 years in of an almost 30-year journey or something, like 20-something year journey. And his rule was no motorized transport. I'm skipping this song. I like it, but we're talking. Don't talk over me, Steven Universe. Okay. um. Damn. Sorry, Steven. Yeah, no motorized vehicles, and it was something else. And of course, like they covered the key points in the interview of like, did you ever think about going home? And he was like, of course. Apparently, he had an encounter with a polar bear. He like went through a part of like war-torn South America at one point. I'm like trying my best to remember this. But this is all to say, like, man, he's done everything. Like, you know, he's met so many more people. 27 years. If I drew for 27 years, Antarctica. I think he like swam. He was like the first ever person to swim across something, and like the first ever British person to swim across something. Like 2 separate awards. For like 27 years. I've not even been alive for 27 years. Doing that. I know, right? How am I just now hearing about this guy? Yeah. But man, if I drew for 27 years, if I coded, if I worked out, if I did it all, right? That would just be so fun. When I first started drawing, I gave myself like 7 years, not to like as a deadline, like I have to stop drawing. I just want to see what I do in 7 years. A lot of it's been Drawbox, which I kind of kick myself for, but at the same time, I've had so much fun the whole time. Just on paper, 3 years of Drawbox does sound a little rough. I don't regret it a single bit. I do regret some of my behaviors, like lesson 5 redos or whatever. But overall, I've enjoyed a lot of it. And we're almost done, but in fact, if I can get the schedule I want next semester, I want to do like 2-hour long, 3-hour long streams with a big break in the middle. We could watch like YouTube or something in the middle. I don't know. Can't do an ellipse wall because the pages are bending. Actually, I should probably start streaming as much as humanly possible, because who knows if I'm getting a job outside of college. So maybe we got to start grinding a little bit, get that, you know, Statler sponsorship, get that Sakura Pigma New Masters sponsorship, you know, Posca. My bad, I said the J word. I'm sorry. But yeah. My goal, I do have I could go back to my serving job. I would not want to while job searching for a tech job. But like in that time, I'd rather be doing personal coding projects, staying up to date with the state of the art, and like getting certificates. That's my ideal. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking about job search because it's bleh. Aye. My hand got stuck. Frick. But in terms of Drawbox, I'm just glad I can look back and say, not only did I enjoy it, but it worked. I think the most important part of Drawbox, 2 things. One, it taught me how to learn art, like taught me how to think about it. what worked and what didn't. But 2, it gave me a direction because there's 104 days in summer vacation and that many ways to do art. There's not really a wrong answer, right? But construction, for lack of a better word, gives you a great structure, a great foundation to start learning other things. I've seen amazing artists, without these kind of roots, but cool. We're gonna call it here, everybody. Good stream. We may add like another form here, but otherwise, I'm very, very happy with how this is looking. I wish there were some deeper intersections here and there. Yeah, what's going on? This is like only intersecting with one thing, so we can maybe figure that out. Yeah, I should have aimed it like that, but anyways. Cool. So thank you guys very much for joining Delano and Bear and Jims. We'll be streaming tomorrow, Monday, and we'll have an early stream. We may actually go overtime. We'll see. On Monday, I planned it, I think, for 12:30 p.m. or 1. I can't remember. Go check the stream schedule. It's already updated. And then after that, I'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for Thanksgiving. We'll be back on Saturday. And it's going to be relatively chill. Can I do earlier streams? I can't do earlier streams. But that'll come. We can at least do earlier streams. Starting Monday the 8th through the 15th. Then I want to take the 16th off. And then we're going to try to stream for 8 days. Or probably 7 days up until the 23rd. Because then I leave for Singapore on the 24th. And I got to pack everything up. Because once I get back from Singapore, school starts literally the next day. So it's going to be a really bumpy month, December. But I hope you guys stick with me. Once again, thank you for joining. And I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.